The hemp industry is on the up to produce an insulation product from hemp. How do you get it to the point where it can be specified?
Very fortunate to have one of our sponsors here with us today talking the certified green Hemp Global GreenTag, the path to a green star. Now this is going to be important for people with their products and new product development, and they're here to help us and give us and guide us as the new emerging hemp industry some experiences about how we can make use of that certification system and how we can comply with it and get involved with it. So I'd like to acknowledge them as a sponsor, and I'd like to welcome Nana Bortsie-Aryee to come up to the stage and give us a presentation on the subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard, and thanks for having me here. I was having a conversation with Phil Warner. I'm sure many of you know him. I was having a conversation with him out there, and one of the things he did mention to me was it might be good to find an easier way to describe what you do, all right? And I thought we are a certification body, but why do we do certification? We're here to help. That's the basic explanation. We help you in your certification journey. We help you get to the point where your products can be specified. They are visible to everyone within the green building industry. So the reason why I am here today is to help you in your product certification journey and to help you understand how we can get you there. All right. One of the things that I get from people is where have you lived? Because your accent, it's very hard to place a hand on your accent. So apologies if you don't understand some of the way I pronounce some words and all that. I grew up living in so many different countries. So I say some things very Kiwi, I say some things American, I say some things Ghanaian, African. Okay. So, all right. So a little about ourselves. To put it simply, we are a certification body, right? We audit building products, right? We also set standards that respond to the requirements of the major building rating tools in the world, right? As well as the various construction codes around the world, especially those in the OECD countries, right? So that is Global GreenTag. We are Australian owned. So we are proud to call ourselves, it's an Australian company that operates globally, all right? Headquartered in Brisbane. We have offices in Beijing. We work through CBME, which is a government agency in China. So we work through CBME there. We have an office in Cape Town that operates for the Sub-Saharan region. We have offices in Turkey, Korea, Malaysia, and yeah, we expanded. So Nana Bortsie-Aryee, I'm the program director at Global GreenTag. I'm just the guy that annoys everyone around the office. All right. So we do have, as a certification body, we operate a lot of certifications. This chart might be very confusing for you. What I can say to this chart is that we operate what we call a Type 1 eco-label and a Type 3 eco-label. So Type 1 eco-labels are independently certified eco-labels. A Type 2 eco-label is when you make your own self-declaration. You make your self-declaring, right, which the industry frowns upon. And then we also operate a Type 3 eco-label. So when you hear conversations, talks about LCA, greenhouse gas emissions, environmental product declarations, right? That is a Type 3 eco-label, right? So we operate a Type 1 eco-label and a Type 3 eco-label. We have quite a lot of certifications there, but the ones I think will be more relevant to some of you here are the ones that I will go into. And that includes a couple of them: green rate certification, a product health declaration, and a third one, the environmental product declaration. I did in one of the presentations earlier on, I think one of the presenters mentioned working with MECLA. I think that was you. Do a lot of work with MECLA. We also do quite a lot of work with MECLA. But one thing that I've also noticed being here is that just from paying attention, a little bit of attention, I've noticed that the industry might be a little bit insular, all right? Might be wrong, correct me if right, but I feel like for a small industry, right, there should be a lot of collaboration to make things happen. You can't stand on your own. It is expensive with these certifications, so the only way to get that next step might be you collaborating, working together to gain some of these certifications together instead of going off on your own. All right, so just about us, I know I got 15 minutes. So we are one of the largest third-party certification bodies in the building environment globally. We are recognized, if you know much about the building rating tool system, especially the green building rating tool systems, the major ones are LEED, run by the US GBCA, and Green Star, which is run by the Green Building Council of Australia. We are recognized in all these three major rating tools. We are called up in them. As a body, we are ACCC approved, certification mark in Australia. Apart from these certifications that we have, we certify over 25,000 different products from 330 of the largest building product manufacturers in the world. So we certify Laminex, Dulux, BASF, all the major building product companies in Australia. We certify their products. These are the certifications that I'm going to talk about. One of them is the product health declaration, which is about the product's healthiness in use, the transparency in terms of what goes into the product, whether it's healthy for it to be used. Yes, you can say your product is healthy, but that is coming from you, all right? If you let someone tell the industry that the product is healthy, the industry will more or less listen, right? The industry currently is at a point where self-declarations are something that no one takes seriously. They would rather it be told by an independent body that has done its due diligence and can confidently say that your product is healthy. So there is a product health declaration. There is the environmental product declaration that will tell you how much, what the impact of the product is on the environment in terms of its greenhouse gas emission, in terms of its water impact. Right, and then there is the green rate, which cuts across many requirements, including supply chains, durability, whether the product is fit for purpose. You can develop a product, but as it was mentioned earlier on, if the product is not fit for purpose, you wouldn't. It doesn't meet market requirements. It's no product. You're pretty much at a loss, right? So the green rate is one certification that cuts across all of that. When I had a chat with Lisa, we hear a lot about Green Star, and this is for the producers, the stakeholders here who actually produce building-related materials that are going to build in some of these green buildings. Green Star is the major building rating tool here in Australia for green buildings. The green building industry, Green Star, is on this trajectory. Within the last 3 years, the number of registered products in Green Star has gone from a few hundreds to thousands, right? So there is this push for sustainable materials in buildings, right? And it's not just going across the private industry, but even in federal procurement systems, right? I was in a meeting last week with the New South Wales Procurement DQ around their new procurement guide lines, and they were specifying. They were talking about if you for federal contracts, anything above $1 million, you'd have to meet certain criteria. The purchase would have to meet certain criteria: climate change, circular. It has to meet circular economy principles, circularity, as well as material health. So they're starting to look at this, right? The hemp industry is on the up, right? And I'm sure you all want to see where this can take everyone, right? So thought it would be good to just give you a basic idea of what. So with Green Star, which is the major building rating tool used here in Australia, there is something within Green Star that's called responsible product framework, right? So the products that you manufacture, for them to be certified or for them to be specified in any build, they would have to have responsible product values, right? How do you get those responsible product values, so that your product can, if you produce a hemp crate, or if you produce an insulation product from hemp, how do you get it to the point where it can be specified? That product will need to have a responsible product value, right? How then do you get, the question is, how do you get a responsible product value? The only way you can get a responsible product value is if you're certified by an initiative like Global GreenTag, right? So every certification that we offer has a responsible product value attached to it. So currently, within Green Star, the rating tool, they are being run through two major building rating tools. So there's Green Star buildings and then Green Star fit outs. Green Star building covers everything from structure to to systems to everything, all right? And fit outs is mainly for the interiors, right? In terms of like why hemp, in terms of its relation to green buildings. We all know the benefits that hemp offer, including the ability to capture carbon and just lock it in, right? To the point where unless the product is being bent or anything, it doesn't release the carbon. It's locked in. So in a few of the environmental product declarations that I've seen around hemp products, the greenhouse gas emissions tends to be negative. It's acting as a sink, and these are some of the benefits that you can show out there. But the only way you can show it out there is not, they wouldn't take your word for it. Yes, they all know that, right? But they need a document to have that on file, right? So they need an LCA done, or they need an EPD, an environmental product declaration. Apologies for the number of acronyms I'm using, but yeah. So I did mention three certifications that I wanted to talk about. One is the Product Health Declaration, one is the Green Rate, one is the EPD. In relation to Green Star, the Product Health Declaration responds to concerns about exposure to toxins, so VOCs, especially when it comes to when it comes to engineered wood products. The Green Rate responds to responsible products in terms of supply chain, and then the EPD responds to upfront carbon and lifecycle impacts. Right. All right. I will jump. I got 1 minute, so I will just jump off this and go to the next slide in terms of what the responsible product framework looks like. So within the responsible product framework, they have different categories such as responsible structure, envelopes, systems, and finishes. Products are rated as good practice or best practice, right? In responsible structure, a product will have to have a responsible product value points of more than 15, and a responsible good practice of having a responsible product value of about 10. Where does green tag certifications fit? Green Rate, for example, has 3 levels. A product will be classified as a level A, B, or C. In a PhD, your product will be classified as a platinum, gold, silver, or bronze, right? They all have different responsible product value scores, and this is what helps you get your responsible product values to be able to be considered within Green Star. Okay. I will quickly end this presentation. And just this note to, I did mention earlier on that I think that just paying attention, it's very, very, everyone is doing their own thing, right? These certifications, once again, are expensive, right? We as an organization, we are here to guide the hemp industry, right? We are here to help. And I think that if you look at small businesses, small startups within this industry, the best way to maximize some of the benefits from these certifications is to collaborate. An EPD, an environmental product declaration, on average costs about 15,000 euros, translates to about 23K Australian, right? However, if everyone bands together, right, and data is collected from various production systems, right, it can be averaged into an industry-wide certification that covers everyone, right? So I will leave my presentation here, and on that note, and if you have any questions, just please find me. I'm just hovering around, so just find me. All right, thank you.
Yeah, well, there's an offer for the industry, everybody. You know, let's take advantage of those opportunities that come to us via these certification bodies, because there's a great amount of kudos that comes from, as Nana was saying, from being certified. So it's something that, as the industry matures, I'm sure it'll be taken advantage of. And thank you for the kind offer that you'll be here to help support us in that journey towards certification. So I look forward to hearing about all the Australian products that are going down that pathway.